Alright folks, this is going to be a long one. We've got Tex playing as the War Boss. God, this is going back some years. And this is a new skin. I don't even know what the tribe of these orcs is, but I agree with Tex. This is looking pretty thick. I like this. Little War Boss is looking like a mega armored knob. Kind of. He's a bit more armor on his actual arms. Yeah, that always helps. Anyway, he's up against Funnyman to you. I think that's Arctic Frenzy? I think? I'm not sure. If you guys know who Funnyman to you is, comment down below. Wait, were these flags always here? Man, the most random things get me these days, I swear to God. Anyway, we got Orcs versus Imperial Guard, Warboss versus LG. I actually think Warboss is really good against Lord General. Lord General in general. Oh God, this is where we're at. Jesus Christ. I'm just... Man, this COVID. I just need to go. Lord General in general is actually quite vulnerable to melee. Definitely the most vulnerable of all the IG commanders. The Inquisitor is the best against melee, the Lord General the least good against melee. Wow, he really looks like a mega armored knob. This is really cool. So yeah, the War Boss obviously, he's the melee guy, and he can buff his melee troops the best. Ad boys in particular, very good against IG. Because look, damage resistance is just amazing against ranged. Once your Storm Boys are already in melee, they're already taking less range damage anyway from the ranged resistance when in melee, and then you drop Ad Boys on them, it's just a little bit ridiculous. Storm Boys, you know, people question them against IG, but I think they're actually pretty damn good against IG. They're definitely vulnerable in tier 1, they can bleed a lot, Cadishans are a strong counter, but when you get tier 2 and they get the extra jump range, the stun on landing, and Bomber Boys, they're fierce. The War Boss can support them very well. So Arctic is doing his usual thing where he tries to delay as long as possible getting the sergeants on his guardsmen. Now that's a standard play and a good one at that, but it's not working out for him here, is it? Sluggers are actually proccing decent specials against the Lord General, and they are actually definitely winning this engagement. Arctic really needs to get out. I don't know what he's doing. He's really playing with fire here. Yeah, more specials coming in. I mean, you've got to remember, these are 25 requisition each. This is not free reinforcement from the Lord General. This is costing Arctic's economy quite a lot. So he's getting Cadishans out now, but because of all the bleed and the fact he's had to get 2 sergeants right at the start, he's had no opportunity to build generators. Whereas the 3rd generator is already coming up for Tex, and looters are out in the field. Now, what looters want to do is they want to infiltrate, like here, before the Sentinel comes over, and they can quickly burst down the Sentinel, but it's not going to happen in this instance. Sentinel is actually probably going to get the decap on the fully matured requisition over there, which is very nice for Arctic. Warboss is doing his job, delaying. Shooters do not want to engage here. Not without split fire from both sides. He needs to get some cover. The shotguns from the Cadishans are going to hurt. But yeah, looters moving into position is going to secure this side pretty well. Nice use of the shot blocker though from Arctic. He's not feeling pressured. Let's have a look at his money. Could do with getting the medical sergeant, I think. Sluggers need to back off. They can't fight their Cadishans in melee. Guardsmen actually running in for melee themselves at this point, but a bit of a sloppy push, I'd say. A bit too late from the Cadishans and the Lord General really to get into melee. Might be able to move in and get the shotgun blast on the looters, but with the sluggers flanking as well and the double shooters down here, this is just not a good position. Okay, so he relies on the Sentinel Stomp and he shotgun blasts the shooters, but double fully upgraded shooters is just too much damage. Lord General could actually go down here. There's a lot of WAR buffs coming in at this point. And the shooter knobs actually do very nice damage in melee, as well as having 100% fire on the move, just like the commando knob. So they're very good when they force melee on retreating units, but somehow the Lord General lives. More and more requisition is being bled, however. Warbus idling for a short while. Does start capping. In spite of the early lead in power for Tex, he's not actually that far ahead. Though Arctic really needs to drop his last gen as soon as possible. It's a mistake not to do that for sure. I mean, unless he wants another unit, which I guess he could. As Tex, honestly, I would like to see Stormboys. But the other thing is, you really don't have to get them in Tier 1. Getting Stormboys in Tier 2 is actually probably more common in this matchup than getting them in Tier 1. But I think it's good to put the pressure on. Maybe that's just a personal playstyle thing. The Orc Tier 2 is really strong against IG. Weird Boy, Tank Busters, Stick Bombers, they're all really good options. But a big timing push coming out from Arctic here. Obviously going to try and get the Gem Bash to, you know, equalise things a little bit, but double shooters here to stop them. The problem is that the burst damage from this ranged IG force is just not very good. Oh, we actually see the Carapace armor. Don't see that very often. Giving them the stand firm, making them immune to suppression. Not the actual Lord General himself though, as you can see, so he's suppressed, which is not ideal. And yeah, just not a lot of damage coming out from this IG force. Kadashan's getting tied up by the War Boss. Oh, beautiful stomping retreat, hits the Guardsman as well. Guardsman getting out with just the Sergeant alive. These Kadashans need to get out, hit by a special attack and knocked over as well. That was really unlucky, but he should have retreated first to stop that knockback. Now they take a lot of damage. Only lose one model, but they're now going to be in the base trying to heal up their HP for quite a long time. Sentinel and the Guardsman here have actually only soft retreated, but they're not going to be able to compete with double shooters, I don't think. Beautiful stomp, hits nearly all the models, and now the Guardsmen are repairing whilst shooting, which is absolutely ideal. They might actually win this fight. Ard Boys coming in and the Shooter Boys giving them that damage resistance, and a flank from the War Boss. Yeah, they'll win now. Another beautiful stomp, lots of bleed. Really nice play from Tex here. Good Daka fire on the move here. They're not going to be able to keep pushing though. The Guardsmen will be able to force them back here. Old Reliable might come out as well. The double shooters obviously will quite easily out DPS one single Guardsman repairing a Sentinel. But Old Reliable can put a quick end to that. Gretchen's coming out. Orderly Grots. Wow. Okay. Gonna have some Grot Orderlies. Yeah, I suppose they'd be useful to heal up the shooters. Quite. I mean, look at this. Yeah. Even with full model reinforcement, you can see that these shooters need to spend a lot of time healing in base. So yeah, Grot Orderlies will be quite effective here. Just by having them nearby to the Shooter Boys here, they are increasing their regen. Which is not bad. They have a little heal as well. Heals an allied orc for 10 HP per second for 10 seconds while stunning them. Okay, yeah, that's nice. Is that the boss ball? Yep. Really good upgrade there in this matchup. Because you do a lot of blobbing. You do. You do a lot of blobbing. So obviously the AoE 20% extra HP, really effective. Just on its own that'd be good. And then the fact that it gives you that soft resistance to suppression, it's okay. Not really any suppression on the field at the moment, so that's not really relevant. But as I say, just getting 20% extra HP on your bloody army, well worth the cost. Slugger Boy's got their upgrade here. Missile launcher on the Sentinel. So both units getting their tier 2 upgrades already. Look at the size of that fucking chopper, man. Jesus Christ. I had a fucking chopper. You got some fucking sword. Jeez. Very scary. These Gretchen are being very aggressive. It's nice though, they can obviously tie up the Lord General in melee and then the shooters just do their thing. I wonder if he's put them on the same control group. They are always moving together. I think he has, you know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, he's going to start constructing some banners. It's definitely a way that the Gretchen should be utilised. They should be utilised constantly for fortifying areas after you do a timing push. Okay, so here's the little heal. You can see it's nothing crazy, but it's nice. It's a nice little in-the-field bonus. But it does stun the unit, so you don't want to be using it in the middle of combat. That would be pretty stupid. But it's just keeping them topped up. Not bad for a very low upkeep, only 6 pop unit. Manticore coming out from Attic Frenzy. That is definitely eccentric. You do not see that very often. I think the meta pick would of course be to get a Chimera. And then you also have your Assault Kit Stormtroopers as well. This is going to be the first Manticore shot, really close range, so it's not got a lot of time for text to react. But Shoot Boy is too tanky, man. Only one of the rockets hits without the retreat modifier kicking in. You got to remember they got the 20% extra HP from the boss pull as well, so doesn't really do a whole lot. Power Claw is coming in for the war boss, but yeah, stomped aside by the Sentinel. Manticore's going to get back to the base, so should be safe for now. But I really question the effectiveness of this Manticore. I mean, there's nothing. Oh well, there is the looters, I suppose. But I feel like they've not really been that influential in the fights, to be honest. They'll probably spend their time just chilling behind this tank trap here, stopping decaps on the natural VP. So I don't really think the Manticore's been very effective. And Shooter Boys, of course, they're just mobile units, so they can dodge it relatively easily, unless the Manticore's very close range. But good luck getting your Manticore to the front lines when there's a war boss running around with a Power Claw. Wait, did he? He cancelled it. Oh, that's pretty smart. Yeah, because he got forced off, obviously, when the Sentinel stomped him, so cancelled it. Just wanted to take it in case he had an opportunity to wipe it out there and then. Fair enough. Okay, well the Warbanner's going down, but a fair bit of bleed, to be honest. Gazman's nearly wiping, jeez. Gretchen could have tied up the Lord General, yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They do. They get in there. Bless him. Oh, did the Unreliable just bug? Looks like it did. That's unfortunate. Both players, though, just opting for tier 3. Wow. I mean, Tex basically just skipped tier 2. He got Gretchen, that was it. The hell? What is he actually trying to get, then? Maybe he's not trying to get a looted tank. Man, a looted tank right now would be amazing. One good timing push, you could push that into the base and wipe out the Manticore. I mean, looted tank is brutal against Kadishan Devils. Looted tank is actually notable for having the highest amount of splash damage of any of the tanks. So, really quite brutal against Imperial Guard infantry, which blow up so much. But instead he's going for knobs. This is a very strange decision. Knobs against IG. I mean, wow, yeah, I don't. That's gonna be hard to use. Because, you know, he's already got control in the form of knockback with the Kadishan Devils, and then he can get the. Oh, this is a horrible engagement for the Sluggers, Jesus Christ. Fortunately, the Knob's still alive, but he's gonna die. Yeah, he needs to get out of there. So he's already got the knockback with the Kadishan Devils. He's also got potential for plasma guns and the Guardsmen, which will obviously counter the heavy infantry, the Knobs. He can get even more of that by getting Kazakin out, giving them plasma guns. He's still got the Sentinel for Stomp, and he's got the Lord General, who, like I say, definitely the weakest against Knobs, but he still has some tools. You've got the Melter Guns, which give you the cooldown reduction, which makes plasma guns fire faster, basically improves the DPS of plasma guns significantly. It doesn't really affect bolters that much, or blast guns. Or he could go for the grenade launchers, in which case he can do AoE speed buffs and just kite the Knobs. That said, there are not a lot of plasma guns out on the field right now. In fact, there's none. And if he keeps... Oh! Okay. Yeah, there's no plasma guns out on the field right now because there is a Lehman Russ which has already got an Executioner Cannon, which is an absolutely amazing counter Nob Squad. This thing does Plasma Cannon DPS, which gives you a modifier to do even more to heavy infantry. Yeah, this is not good. Not good for the Nob Squad. Nob Squad, really questionable choice in this instance. I think the loot tank would have been great. Wipe out the Manticore and then use it to get a full gem bash. That obviously would have prevented this Lehman Russ from coming out. Lehman Russ with an Execution Cannon's like 170 power. Super, super, super expensive. That said, I've only just realised Tex is massively ahead on VPs right now. Solidly over 400 for Tex and already under 200 for Attic Frenzy. But, you know, this is a big, wide open map, and Attic is playing as the Imperial Guard. It's pretty easy as IG to hold on to, well, to hold on to VPs, to hold on to anything. Defense is what IG do best. So definitely potential for a nice comeback here. Tex right now actually has no answers to the Lehman Russ. His only AV that he has on the field is the Nob Squad, which obviously not very good against a tank because they're slower than it. Where's that firing? It's firing at the Slugger Boys, take a lot of damage to the Manticore. Yeah, Manticore not really paid for itself yet. It needs to get the Manticore out actually. These Nobs could get into position to kill it quite quickly. Going to be a good stomp from the Sentinel, really nice stomp hitting 3 of the Nobs plus the War Boss, and then rotates the Lehman Russ around so it can reverse away and do a lot of damage to these Nobs. Fortunately the Nobs are a bit split up now thanks to the stomp, but you can see even with them split up, so the splash isn't hitting all models, that is doing some really nice damage, and that's with them having 20% extra HP as well. The Grot Orderlies are going to be quite effective here to try and heal up the Nob Squad. Okay, we're starting to see the plasma guns coming out for the Guardsmen now. Pretty obvious choice. Needs them to try and peel down the Nobs a little bit faster. No commissars yet, but they are quite unnecessary. Honestly, at this point, Arctic probably just wants to get the Kaskin out. They'll be really effective. They'll be able to get the plasma guns, output good damage to pretty much all the targets that the Orcs have on the field, but also they've got that 50% extra capping speed, higher than average movement, plus the sprint ability. Going to be really good to exert some more VP pressure, and that is what Arctic needs right now. I want to see some bunkers coming down, solidifying this position. He can just set up a firing line here, and from this position he can cover both VPs, and that will keep him in the game quite well, while Kadashans or Kassakin go down the right hand side and try and get this VP. Look at how cool this Nob Squad looks with his skin. Maybe that's part of the reason Tex went for them. Wow, they look so cool. And I love how the Nob Squad Nob leader has this really fearsome mask. Absolutely terrifying. It's a shame that no Weird Boy was purchased in Tier 2 actually from Tex. I think it would have synergized very well with his build here. Being able to use Warpath would make the Nobs a lot more effective, giving them that speed buff, helping them to actually catch up with the Lehman Russ. And you could also use Overdare from the Weird Boy to knock aside the, well, any of your own troops actually to dodge Manticore shots, which is a rarely seen play, but a very, very cool one, and a very effective one as well. Nobs at this point just running into base, trying to catch this Manticore. They're forced to use Frenzy, but they're just not fast enough. You know, they haven't got any melee charge. Okay, now they're getting the melee charge, but they're going to be suppressed again, and I don't think they're going to actually be able to get this Manticore. Oh, they're losing so much HP right now. You've got to remember, not only does this cost them a lot of money to reinforce the Nob Squad, but it's a lot of red as well to use that Frenzy ability. At least 50 red, possibly even 75, if I recall correctly. And all this time, it's meant that Arctic Frenzy has not really been bleeding. Now he's got Kaskin coming out of the field, and things are turning around very quickly for Tex. No longer does he have over 400 VPs, he's now down below 350, losing them VPs very quickly with a 2-0 cap against him. But he's getting some commandos out. Commandos have course, do have some AV potential if you upgrade them with their Commando Nob Leader. He has that rocket. But honestly, that alone is not really enough to threaten a Lehman Russ, and 1v1 the Lehman will just absolutely destroy a Commando squad. Never mind if you start adding in supporting firepower from the rest of the IG troops. But Commandos also have good anti-infantry. One good burner bomb into a Love Dodaka or a Rox. That could be the end of some of those supporting IG squads, and from there I suppose you could just evade the Lehman Russ and win via VPs. Whilst I guess Tex waits for a few more anti-vehicle units. Tex has all of his power wiped at this point, severely losing map control. Going to prove quite problematic for him. Sluggers met the Kassakin on this side, and it's not a meeting that they enjoy, only getting out with 3 HP and losing the Nob. Wonder if they took a grenade. Probably did. Kassakin is such a good unit. So fearsome. So versatile as well. I'd like to see some more upgrades from the Lord General. He's kind of just running around in his own on the side, but he's not really doing a whole lot. I think any of the upgrades honestly would be good. Sniper rifle to put some more pressure on from long range would be nice. Melter gun to make your plasmas better. Grenade launchers to make you be able to kite the knobs even better. Manticore's nearly level 3. Wow, it must have got some good shots that I've missed here. Seem to achieve all that XP very quickly. These shooters are going to get wrecked by the Lehman. Yep. Levels of Lehman. No, he's only level 1. Wow, that's a level 1 Lehman, man. Against level 3 shooters. Brutal. A lot of damage being put on here by the Warboss. Warboss now is fully upgraded. Power Claw, Heavy Armor, and the Boss Pole is going to be a bit of a nuisance to take out. Needs to get the Kassakin on him. Yeah, here they come with their Hellguns. They'll actually do some pretty good single target damage. Lasguns are good and all, but when you're fighting a Warboss with Heavy Armor, nearly 2000 HP in total, 1.5 HP regen, you need more than Lasguns. Slugger Boys going around without their Nob at this point, very fragile, just being used as a capping unit. Karashin's going to dispatch them pretty easily. Tex, unfortunately, not noticing, is actually going to lose them completely. Yeah, this is a bit of a disaster for Tex. Nobs do get onto the Kassakin, which is something, but they're using their sprint to kite back to the base, where the turrets can protect them. What's going on this side? Where's the Manticore? Oh, it's all the way back here. Oh, because the commandos were infiltrating, trying to get to it. How did they not kill it? Damn, that's crazy. Should only take them one rocket to the rear and then one rocket to the front to wipe out the Manticore, so I'm really kind of shocked that they didn't actually manage to destroy it in that instance. But honestly, Tex is doing a lot of messing around on the sidelines and not actually fighting for the VPs. I guess there's not a whole lot he can do. There's nothing he can do to win in an outright fight. This Lehman Russ is just an absolute monster. Arctic getting a little bit cocky at this point with it, pushing it up completely unsupported into the base of Tex. Just going to take a lot of damage for not a whole lot of... Well, it doesn't really achieve anything. I mean, did he kill anything there? I don't think he did. Lost half the health on his Lehman Russ. Going for Ogryns now. Interesting. I guess maybe he wants to turn them into Bulgrins. I don't know how effective that's going to be against Nobs. Certainly if he uses them wherever the Nobs aren't, that could be very effective actually. Will be a nice unit actually to cap the VPs as well. Okay, well forces off the Warboss, kind of running in the Warboss alone there is not very effective. But he is somewhat of a distraction. Commandos with their Nob leader going to go on the other side and decap this point, utilising their 50% extra capping speed. Shooter's going to try and contest the other side, but is this a rocket run or a creeping Basilisk barrage? It is a rocket run, and that is going to hit very clean. Second barrage is even going to hit on the Shooter Boy squad, wipes out one of them. The other Shooter squad is down to only one model, the Nob himself. Really not sure what Tex is going to be able to do at this point. He's kind of just dropping squads left, right and centre. He does have a Rocks, so that is some potential, but the Nobs I feel like haven't really done anything since they've come out. They're just running around, looking fearsome, but not really achieving a whole lot. The Looted Tank is coming out, but that's not going to be able to do terribly much. I mean, what level are we looking at for a Lehman? 2 already, nearly level 3. I mean, Looted Tank can't even beat a level 1 Lehman, not even close. You've got Sentinel support, you've got Kassakin. Yeah, this is looking very rough for Tex right now. Lord General's chilling down here trying to defend the natural VP. I mean, he's going to struggle there. There's no way that shooters aren't going to be forced off by him. I mean, they can just probably capture underneath the fire. Yeah, we do see the Bulgarins. And kind of as expected, they get absolutely wrecked by the Nobs, even without any Warboss globals. Rocks comes in, but it looks like it's not actually going to kill the Lehman. Gets it very close. Bulgarins are losing a lot of HP. Oh my god, the Guardsmen just wipe. The Guardsmen get absolutely fucking smashed by one of the Warboss specials. Kassakin even get tossed aside as well. A bit of a missed micro here from Arctic Frenzy. I'm not sure what happened down on this side. The Lord General is forced off and Tex manages to capture that VP. Looks like someone managed to capture the VP over on this side as well, and now the Warboss is just tanking, actually very effective against the Executioner Lehman Russ, which relies a lot on its splash damage to get effective DPS, but obviously the Warboss is a single entity. So that means the Looted Tank can exert pressure elsewhere, evading the Lehman Russ, which can counter it very well, and it is certainly exerting pressure, forcing off the level 4 Kadashan Devils, and now dealing with the Sentinel as well. The combined force of the Warboss and the Lehman Russ is going to do a lot to force off this Sentinel, but the Sentinel actually did decap the VP, so it is a 1-to-1 cap right now. Arctic actually lost both of his Guardsmen. How did that happen? I don't know where it happened, but it means that there is no repair support for the Lehman Russ. He's having to buy new Guardsmen, and that is delaying him quite a lot. The Lehman Russ now is going to have to sit in the base, get repaired. That means it's not on the field, and there is pretty much nothing that Arctic can do at the moment to deal with this Looted Tank from Tex. Smoke grenade going down from the commandos before they start their cap. With that extra capping speed, they're going to be on that point pretty soon. Warboss is capturing his natural point, and the Nobs are capturing the middle. The Kadashans actually miss their old reliable, flies over the heads of the Nobs and fails to knock them back. That is not good for our boy Arctic. Only 50 VPs left right now, but Arctic is clearly pressured. Throws a grenade down here, trying to hit the Warboss, but the Warboss isn't even reacting, and it actually misses the Warboss. He is forced off eventually. Kassakin are going to get onto that point, but it's going to be a 1-to-1 cap again, even if they capture that. Nobs needs to turn around and cap the point. No, they don't, because Shooter Boys are actually coming in to do the capping, while the Nobs do the distracting in the front. But the Lehman Russ is now back in action, along with the Bulgarins. I don't really know how these Bulgarins are going to fare. The thing is, the Bulgarins are going to get hit by friendly fire at this point from their own Lehman Russ, which is going to do a lot of damage to them. Plasma cannon damage does a lot of damage to super heavy infantry armor. They get disrupted a little bit by the Sentinel. This is all just delaying tactics from Tex, though. But what is he doing? He's moving the shooters up, not actually capping the VP. This is a big mistake. Perhaps trying to get the Sentinel, because he knows that could put a lot of pressure onto the Looted Tank, but man, I really think he just needs the VPs at this point. The VPs are getting very low. With the tools that he has, with the really tanky Nobs and the Warboss, plus the infiltrating commandos, I think VPs are the most important thing right now. More Gretchens have been called in. These are going to be a repair crew. They're going to go over to the west side, try and help out that Looted Tank. Obviously Tex right now has no sluggers, so if it weren't for the Gretchens, he would have absolutely no repair support whatsoever. Those orderlies healing up the Nobs back in base. Very nice to see. VP's still draining for Arctic. He needs to get something on the VPs. Okay, Kadashans are going down there. Where are the Kassakin? Yeah, Kassakin are capping the mid. Looted tank at this point is pretty isolated. Lehman Russ is pushing forward. That pintle-mounted las cannon combined with the execution cannon are going to make easy work of that looted tank, ripping it to pieces. Is this another commando squad? No, it's the same commando squad. I think Tex has really been lacking power for all this game. Never really had much of an opportunity to replace all of his gens. Commando's just not really able to do anything here. They should be infiltrating and just trying to cap the point. There's nothing here to detect them while the war boss then deters. But Tex is focusing more on trying to keep his looted tank alive. Easier said than done. Nob's moving forward, trying to force off this Lehman Russ. And we get a Steam disconnect, of course we do. I felt like it was going far too well. And we had puppy problems anyway, so we can deal with the puppy problems. Alright, I'll be back. Alright guys, this is Torpid about 2 weeks later from the earlier part of the cast, because, yeah, shit happened, and I tried to reload the replay to finish this, and guess what? Well, it takes about, well, 7 minutes to get back to this point, because you can only go so fast in the replay, and it crashed, and then I ran out of time. So I've had to wait 2 weeks to finish this. But I'm finishing it now just for you guys. Here we go. So I don't know if the audio is even on the same level. I forgot to check that. And you know what? I'm not going to reload the replay again. And we're in slow motion as well. Wow, this is just an epic failure. But this is what happens. I mean, you guys know there's not that much long left in the game, so it doesn't matter me showing you that. It could go either way, right? It's a low VP situation. And watching this replay back to get to this point, this game was bloody mental. I understand that Tex was doing quite a lot of memeing, you know, he was going for the knobs just because people generally shit-talk the knobs a lot in the meta, and they're not great. But obviously, he wanted to try them out, see how they're doing in the meta, but also try them with the orderly grots. And I think the grots did pretty well, actually, supporting the knobs, keeping them healed up. That is a problem that you get with the knobs if you don't actually lose models, which quite often you don't, because they do have loads of health. Look at that, level 4. They just don't have very good regen, so you either get a pain boy, but that's really quite expensive, but now you can just get the orderly grots. Yes, they're not as good, but they're still decent. And you know what? These knobs are actually putting in a lot of work right now. They are buffed by the boss pull, giving them that extra, oh my god, giving them that extra 20% HP. They actually just killed the Kassakin. Wait, does Tex win this? He's got a 2 cap, and he's kind of pushed everyone back into the base, but man, there's a lot of VPs left for Funnyman. Oh, it turns out Funnyman isn't Arctic as well, but I might just call him Arctic anyway, just because he's playing Lord General and he's trolling with IG, and, well, everyone in Elite Mod seems to hate IG now. That's just a thing. I'm not sure when that became a thing, but yeah, everyone hates IG, so... Kudos to Funnyman though for keeping his Sentinel alive all this time. He's been getting in some high value stomps to deal with those knobs. But he needs to get out there. He really doesn't have a lot of time. And I don't like these commandos being on this side. I feel like they're the ideal unit to try and get the decap here. Kind of a massive fuck up by Tex. Not actually decapping the VP. He obviously clicked just next to it, but not on the VP. He probably could have got that decap. Like, that Lehman is taking a long time, man, to force them off. Yeah, he totally could have got that decap, which would have been great for him. Could be the reason why he ends up losing this match. If he ends up losing. Have they used All Reliable? I guess they have, because they're choosing to plant an IED instead. Which, I guess is fair enough. Oh, really? He detonated the IED? He should have waited for them to get out of the building. It gives you line of sight. This is scrappy. Like, we're seeing mistakes on either side. I mean, wiping these guys out wouldn't have been that big of a deal. There's nothing still to threaten this VP, so having them here to defend doesn't really matter. I think Tex is going to get this, you know. Funnyman's been really passive, and right now his only real source of damage is the Lehman, which itself can't cap. So you just fuck around with the Lehman with your war boss, who doesn't take a lot of damage from it, and just make sure that you've got some units left over to prevent, I guess, the Bulgarins from capping. They're the only thing that's going to cap. I mean, literally, free guardsman has no chance of capping. It's just going to die instantly. But yeah, I don't think he's going to have the time, Funnyman, to get back out in the field. He's got these Kassakin now, and they're actually idling. Yeah, he's fucking up big time. He's throwing this game. This was definitely his game to lose. And he moves the Bulgrins in completely on their own, and then gets them wrecked by Knobs and a War Boss. I mean, I don't know, guys. This is a disappointing end. He's just dropping the ball completely. And Kasakin are great and all, but, you know, level 4 Knobs, heavy infantry armor, good luck with that. And now the Orderly Grots coming in. Let's have a look at the regen then. Yeah, you can see when they're level 4, that is actually some pretty decent regen. Pretty fucking decent, that, man. And that's just the regen, it seems, from their passive for being near the Orderly Grots. Wow, that's really good, isn't it? Yeah, them Orderly Grots are pretty decent with Knobs. Now, obviously, Knobs are like the ideal use for them, but you could, you know, it'll sustain your Slugger Knob and your Stormboy Knob. You know, if you ever have issues where you find that you've got full boys in your squad in tier 2, yet your Sluggers and Stormboys are only on 60% of HP when they're in the base, well, that obviously means that the Knobs in the squad are really injured. And that's what the Orderly Grots can be helpful for. But there you go, that's the match, and Tex does actually win it in the end somehow. I really don't know how he did that. Turns out the Kadashans did go for this VP, and the Commandos came in and disrupted them, probably with a burner bomb into Lovda Daka. Stop the decap. So yeah, misplayers on both sides there, but it is what it is. That's what happens even at the highest level of Dawn of War 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast. Plenty more to come. Support the channel by liking and commenting down below for the algorithm. That's it from me today. It's your boy Torpid, signing out.